This story is about a scientist who discovers a mysterious world while searching for his missing brother. This world is very beautiful, but there are some dangerous things here that try to take his life at every step. Now, are they able to come back alive from there or not? Let's see in today's story. At the beginning of the story, we are shown a man with a dinosaur behind him, and he is running to save his life. After running for some distance, he suddenly reaches a point where the ground slips away, revealing a volcano below. With no other way out, he jumps but falls and dies there. After this, we see a professor named Trevor, who teaches at the university. Trevor is a volcanologist. He conducts classes at the university, but his entire focus is on reaching the core of the Earth. After finishing his class, Trevor goes to the lab, where a man informs him that the lab is going to be closed in a few days due to a lack of funding. The man tells Trevor that the lab was originally named after his brother, Max, who has been missing for 10 years. Despite extensive searches, no one has found out where Max went. Trevor is upset by this and tries to convince the man, saying, "We are close to achieving a significant result." However, the man replies, "Whatever the result may be, without funding, the lab has to shut down." Feeling dejected, Trevor returns home. There, he receives a voice message saying that Max's son, Sean, will be staying with him for a while. Just then, the doorbell rings. Trevor opens the door and finds Max's wife standing there with Sean. She explains that she has to go somewhere for 10 days, so Sean will be staying with Trevor. Before leaving, she hands Trevor a box containing some of Max's research and leaves. Trevor brings the box into the room. After chatting with Sean for some time, he opens the box and finds various items, including one of Max's favorite books, Journey to the Center of the Earth by Professor Jules, a science fiction novel. As Trevor flips through the book, he discovers notes written by Max. The notes reference 3 locations: Mongolia, Bolivia, and Hawaii. Intrigued, Trevor takes Sean to the lab to investigate further. At the lab, Trevor studies the 3 locations on the computer. He realizes these are volcanic regions, and the weather conditions at these places now match those from 10 years ago, when Max disappeared. Suddenly, the computer identifies a 4th location with matching conditions, Iceland. Excited by the discovery, Trevor explains to Sean, "Your dad Max and I often discussed volcanic tubes, natural pathways inside volcanoes that might lead to the Earth's core. According to this book, there's another world inside the Earth. I believe Max went to Iceland to investigate this and never returned." Trevor decides to travel to Iceland and, after much insistence from Sean, agrees to let him come along. During the flight, Trevor examines the book again and notices the name of a researcher, Professor Sigbjarn, written on one of the pages. Trevor deduces that this person might have been connected to Max. When they land in Iceland, they rent a car and head to the professor's address. Upon arriving and knocking on the door, they are greeted by a young woman named Hannah. When they say that they have come to meet Sigbjarn Sir, Hannah replies that she is his daughter and that he passed away years ago. After inviting them inside, Trevor explains that he has come here following the book and shares everything about his brother, Max. Hearing this, Hannah says, "All these things are just theories with no relevance to the real world." She shows her father's copy of the same book and says, "My father also died while working on this theory, and your brother Max was one of those people who believed that the core of the Earth could be reached." Trevor responds, "I am a professor and a scientist like my brother, and if I've come this far, I will definitely visit that point again." He also mentions that he has received signals indicating volcanic tubes a little north from here. Hannah agrees to join them, saying, "I am a mountain guide, and I can take you there, but I'll charge for it." After this, she becomes their guide and accompanies them. Moving forward, the 3 of them begin trekking up a massive mountain and climb very high. There, Trevor finds a volcano sensor meter, which detects the readings of the volcano. As soon as Trevor starts removing it, a cold lightning storm begins. Hannah realizes what's happening and quickly takes Sean inside a nearby mine. Trevor, however, keeps working on the sensor, and the cold lightning intensifies. Hannah shouts, "Throw away the sensor. It's attracting lightning." Trevor drops it and leaps into the mine just in time. The lightning causes the slope in front of the mine to collapse, sealing their way out completely. Inside the mine, Hannah pulls out flashlights from her bag and gives them to everyone. Sean panics and asks how they'll get out since there's no mobile network either. Hannah reassures him, saying, "We can't move all the rocks blocking the way, but if this path is closed, there must be another way out." They move deeper into the mine, with Trevor leading the way. Suddenly, Trevor almost falls into a ditch but is saved just in time by Hannah, who grabs him. Ahead, they find a large tunnel. Hannah explains, "We need to go down this tunnel somehow. Maybe we'll find a way further below." With great difficulty, the three descend the tunnel using a rope. Reaching the bottom, they move further and discover a large generator. Hannah switches it on, illuminating the entire mine. They notice that the place seems abandoned, with all the digging equipment left behind as if everyone had fled. They also find tracks leading deeper into the mine, with some trolleys available for use. Sean excitedly hops into one of the trolleys. Meanwhile, Hannah finds a handle caster and attaches it to the trolley. The three begin moving forward on the trolley, but it suddenly accelerates like a roller coaster. They start screaming as they lose control. Soon, they notice the track is damaged ahead. Nervous, they brace themselves, but Hannah increases the trolley's speed, causing it to jump over the broken section. As they continue, their trolleys get separated, creating a new problem. Hannah sees that her track is about to end, so she jumps into Trevor's trolley. Together, they notice their trolley's track is also ending. Acting quickly, Hannah pulls out a rope, throws it toward the track ahead, and both she and Trevor leap from the trolley just in time to save themselves. Meanwhile, Sean's trolley follows an intact track, allowing him to return safely to the others. At the site where their trolley had crashed, they discover another area inside the mine. Entering it, they are astonished to find numerous diamonds scattered around. Sean eagerly collects some in his bag. Trevor, however, examines the surroundings and says, "We are inside the volcanic tube from where the volcano erupts. The presence of so many diamonds here indicates that this is a mine, and we are very close to the core of the earth." As they stand there, they realize the ground is extremely fragile. Trevor warns, "The surface here is very weak. Even a slight increase in weight could cause it to break." They understand that they have to move back slowly before the surface breaks and try to do the same, but then a diamond falls from Sean's bag. Within no time, the surface cracks, and they start falling down. They scream in fear as the tube seems endless. After falling for what feels like an eternity, they finally land in a pool of water. They manage to swim out and begin discussing how they survived the fall. However, they worry about how they will return to the surface. Suddenly, several shimmering and beautiful birds appear before them. They are completely stunned, as they have never seen such birds before. One bird flies up to Sean and starts playing with him while he watches in amazement. The birds then begin flying through a tunnel, and the group decides to follow them. As they emerge, they are left speechless. An entirely new world lies before them. Seeing this, Trevor and Hannah realize that Max and Hannah's father were absolutely right. This is the center of the earth, a world within a world. The sights around them perfectly match the illustrations in Jules' book. Trevor remarks, "Someone must have discovered this place and told Jules Verne, inspiring him to write the book. If someone could come here and return, so can we." They continue exploring and eventually discover a treehouse. Inside the treehouse, they find evidence that Trevor's brother Max lived there. They uncover Max's belongings, including a diary and notes. Meanwhile, outside, Hannah finds a bottle with Max's name on it. She also discovers Max's remains. Devastated, she informs Trevor and Sean, who are heartbroken by the news of Max's death. Trevor finds some notes Max had written for Sean and reads them aloud. In the notes, Max shares his thoughts. "I came here to make an incredible discovery, but my calculations failed, and now I am trapped. I can no longer share my life with anyone, but I only ever wanted to live with my son and see him grow up. Today is my Sean's 3rd birthday. I just wanted to see him one last time." Hearing these words, Sean becomes deeply emotional and bursts into tears. From Max's notes, they learn that the temperature in this world could rise to 200 degrees Celsius at any moment. Checking a nearby meter, Sean notices that the current temperature is already 99.5 degrees Celsius. Trevor remarks, "When we arrived, it was only 82 degrees Celsius, which means the temperature is rising rapidly." Within a day, it could reach 200 degrees Celsius. Hannah reads further in Max's notes, which describe a way out. According to Jules Verne's book, they must travel north across a sea, then navigate a river that leads to a cave. Inside the cave, they will find a hot spring called a geyser, which shoots upward, possibly providing a way to return to the Earth's surface. With this plan in mind, they start preparing a boat using dry grass and wood. As they work, the temperature around them continues to rise. Once the boat is ready, they launch it and use Max's parachute, which they had brought down earlier, as a makeshift sail to propel them faster. The boat speeds across the sea, but after traveling a considerable distance, they are attacked by dangerous fish. The group narrowly avoids the fish and continues onward, only to encounter even larger sea creatures. These massive creatures attack and eat the smaller fish, giving the group a brief reprieve. Taking this chance, they steer the boat northward. However, the winds grow so strong that the wood holding the parachute begins to crack. Seeing this, Sean breaks both the parachutes. He grabs the ropes but is unable to control them, and before Trevor can catch him, he flies away with the parachute. After this, when Sean opens his eyes, he finds himself on the shore, and a similar bird, the one he saw for the first time after coming here, comes to him. The bird shows Sean the way and leads him into the mountain crevices, where he sees many flying stones. The magnetic field here is completely different. Sean realizes that if stones can fly here, then there must be a reverse-flowing hot water spring ahead. To cross this place, he will have to leap across a deep ditch, and the only way to cross is by jumping from one flying stone to another. He moves forward cautiously, saving his life with every jump, and with great difficulty, he successfully crosses. Meanwhile, Trevor and Hannah reach the shore. Sean is still on their minds. Sean's absence worries Trevor, but Hannah reassures him, saying, "Don't worry, Sean is a very smart boy. He knows our plan and will reach the north by any means." While they're talking, Hannah is suddenly attacked by a carnivorous plant. The plant grabs her and begins strangling her with its branches. Trevor quickly intervenes and starts fighting the plant, eventually uprooting it and saving Hannah from certain death. As they move forward, Sean arrives at a place where huge dinosaur-like skeletons lie scattered. He hears a growling sound and panics, hiding behind a rock. On the other side, Trevor and Hannah have reached the river that will take them closer to the geyser waterfall. They were hopeful that Sean would join them soon, but he hasn't shown up yet. Trevor decides to go look for him. Hannah says she will wait by the river and believes Sean will be nearby. She gives Trevor a kiss for luck before he sets off to find Sean. Sean, hiding between the rocks, is terrified. Suddenly, a dinosaur attacks him, and he begins running in fear. He hides among the stones to avoid being eaten. Just in time, Trevor arrives, hears the dinosaur, and manages to break through a rock wall to save Sean. The two of them see the geyser ahead and start running in that direction, with the dinosaur in pursuit. During the chase, Trevor realizes the ground they are running on is very thin. He pulls Sean to safety on the other side, telling him to run ahead while he distracts the dinosaur. As the dinosaur gets closer to Trevor, the ground collapses beneath it, and the dinosaur falls into a deep ditch. Trevor narrowly escapes by grabbing onto a rock, and the two of them continue moving forward until they reach the river. The water is getting hotter, and they need a boat to continue their journey. Hannah then creates a boat using the head of a dinosaur's skeleton and brings it to them. All three of them board the boat, but after traveling some distance, the boat suddenly veers off course and begins moving uncontrollably. The boat speeds up, and the water dries up beneath them, causing the boat to fall into a deep chasm. They become stuck between rocks, and they see boiling lava below them. Fear sets in as they realize the danger they're in. Trevor says, "We're too late. The geyser is over." The reverse-flowing hot water spring means that when the water falls into the lava releases gas with great pressure upwards. It's powerful enough to launch even the largest objects into the air, but now, we'll have to wait for hours before the water reaches us. Hannah notices that water is leaking from the wall, and they realize there is a crack in the wall where water might pour through. Trevor inspects it and discovers magnesium in the cracks, which can be easily detonated. After this, Trevor asks to bring flares from the bag and, with great difficulty, somehow blasts the magnesium, causing the wall to break. Debris falls, and a large amount of water pours into the lava. As soon as the water falls, pressurized steam is created, and their boat starts moving upwards very quickly. The boat moves so fast that, within moments, it completely falls out of the earth, like a volcanic eruption. After falling out, their boat slides very fast down a slope and lands in a farmer's field. The next moment, they crash into the farmer's house, and the farmer, who is very upset about the damage to his crops, starts shouting at them in Italian. From his language, they understand that they have emerged in Italy. Sean then takes a diamond from his bag, which he had brought from the mine, and gives it to the farmer. The farmer becomes very happy and says, "You can come anytime and slide in my fields." The bag also contains many more diamonds, which means they not only discovered a new world but also became very rich. Hannah and Trevor kiss each other, very happy because during this difficult journey, they fell in love with each other. The story concludes with Trevor restarting his brother's lab, which was about to close due to lack of funding. As Sean is about to return home, Trevor gives him another book of his father's titled The Lost City of Atlantis and says, "If you're not going anywhere for Christmas vacation, we can go on another adventurous journey." At that moment, Sean notices that the bird that had shown him the way is also with them, and with this, the story ends. Friends, I hope you liked this story. See you with another funny story.